Hey everybody, it's Neenah. Welcome back. This is going to be my last card for 2017. I decided this year I'm going to shut down my YouTube channel and really enjoy some quality time with my family this year. So let's go ahead and get started. For my last card, I'm going to do a shaker card. This gorgeous frame right here is from My Favorite Things. This is called the stitched collage frame, and I went ahead and cut out a whole bunch of these ahead of time so I don't have to bore you guys. I'm using some on point glue today to stack these one on top of the other to really give my shaker card some height. Now usually I would use foam tape, but I'm really starting to like just having a really clean look on the side of my shakers, and just by stacking these dies one on top of the other, I get a nice thickness without having that really messy look of the foam tape. So I'm going to go ahead and start just layering these one on top of the other to give myself a great thickness for this shaker card. Now you can build them as high as you want. I think I ended up maybe with about 8 layers of this. So I'm going to go ahead and keep stacking these, and then I'll come back. All right, now for the back part of my shaker card, I'm going to use some distress ink. So I'm going to grab some Twisted Citron, and this paper right here is watercolor paper. I'm not trying to put down an even coat at all on this. I just want to have down some pretty paper. Now this Twisted Citron is really bright, so I'm going to bring in a little bit of the MOWED lawn, and that's going to give me a great color combination of having the two greens together. Now I know you're probably like, oh Dana, that green does not match, but watch, if you layer some of the Oxide ink over the regular distressed ink, it really softens it up. So don't be afraid to pull out those regular distressed inks and use them with your Oxide inks, because it will have a tendency to mellow down any of those brighter colors, and they just blend perfectly together. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more of the Twisted Citron and blend back some of that MOWED lawn. And I wanted to use 2 different greens in this background, as some of the images that I've colored up are going to be a Santa with a Christmas tree. So I wanted to have some green in the background. So now since that looks good, I'm going to go ahead and grab my little Nouveau spritzer. And I'm just going to go ahead and put down some water onto this paper, let it soak into the paper just a little bit, and then I can go ahead and dab up some of the water, and then you get that gorgeous look when it's all done. I really love working with Distress Oxide inks, and the regular Oxide inks, I think they're just the regular Distress inks, I think they're just gorgeous. But look how pretty that looks. All right, I'm going to set that side to dry, and now I'm going to start working on my sentiment. I went ahead and I chose a Merry Christmas sentiment, and this one here is from Fawn, just to put right into one of my windows. Now this is going to be the only sentiment I'm going to have on my card, and I wanted to make sure I had one of the larger windows for this. So here's a cute little Santa that I colored up, and I want to make sure that he's not covering up my sentiment. So that looks pretty good. So now I can go ahead and remove my frame, and I know that my sentiment is going to work perfectly in that section right there. So I'm going to use some Onyx black ink for this, but I want to move my Merry Christmas up a little bit closer, or my Christmas rather, up closer to the Merry. So I went ahead and removed it, and I'm just going to stamp the Merry first. So I'm going to bring over my Misty and go ahead and close my lid, and then I can go ahead and stamp that. Now I can bring in my Christmas and kind of butt it a little bit closer to the word Merry. Because of the way that the stamp is cut, I wasn't able to get really close to it. So just by stamping it, the Merry by itself, I can move my Christmas up a little bit closer. Now that looks a lot better to me. And now I can go ahead and finish stamping out the rest of the sentiment. So like I said, this year I'm going to spend some quality time with my husband and my son. My son's coming in town from New York. He's in college right now, and I really want to spend some time with them this year and not have to worry about doing any video or blog work at all. So all right, so now we're going to go ahead and finish putting this shaker card together. I'm going to use some really strong adhesive tape to put down some images behind each one of the little squares. Now, if you guys have watched my videos before, I said, you know, during the holiday season, go ahead and color yourself up some extra images and have them ready for cards. And that's exactly what I did here. I had stamped out this cute little images from the Neat and Tangle Santa's Wonderland. And now I have them ready to put into a shaker card. So I'm going to have each one of these images tucked right behind one of the squares. So I have a penguin, I have a cute little snowman, and I have an adorable little reindeer. So any extra pieces of the image that is outside of the square, I'm just going to go ahead and trim off. I think this is such a cute way to add some of those smaller little images to shaker cards. So I'm just going to flip that over and I'm just going to cut off. So I don't have any of the images going into the other box. So I don't really want to see the bottom of that snowman hanging down on top of the little reindeer's head. So I'm just making sure I trim off any excess that's hanging outside of my little squares. Don't they look so cute inside the cute little boxes? I think they're adorable. All right, so now since those look good, we can go ahead and get our Santa into place, and he's going to look fabulous. Look how cute this shaker card's going to be. How adorable is that? All right, so I know I want my Santa to be right there in the middle. And now I can start building up the rest of the shaker card. I went ahead and put down that first little layer, so I know I can start pouring in my sequins. Now I'm not going to overfill this, but I do want to get a good amount in, and I'm not putting really a lot in where each one of the images are because I don't want it to cover up their faces. But I do feel like I want to put something in that bottom bigger square. So I'm going to grab a little North Pole sign that I had colored up, and I was going to use it on another card later, but I think it really should go into this one as well. So I'm just making sure that once my Santa is in there, he is not going to actually be covering up the sign. So I went ahead and put some adhesive on the back of that, and then I can go ahead and tuck that down into that square. And now all of my little boxes have either a sentiment or an image in there. Now I think that looks so much better. All right, I went ahead and put some more of that strong double-sided tape, and this is score tape. This is an eighth of an inch size. And I have my acetate on the back now. Now, before I go ahead and put this down onto the front, I want to actually use a anti-static tool just very lightly across each one of the windows, because sometimes your sequins could have some static to it and it will start clinging to the back of your windows. So just make sure you can run a little powder tool across it so it does not stick to your acetate. So I'm going to go ahead and press that down, make sure everything lines up evenly. And that's where I really want to have that gorgeous pop of green in the background. Look how pretty that looks. Oh, I'm so glad I finished this year with this cute little shaker card. I'm in love. Absolutely in love. Look how pretty that looks. And of course, now one of my family members gets to get this card, and I absolutely love how it turned out. Now I know I'm going to be using this little collage frame like for every single card because it was so easy to put together. So now I'm just going to grab a little bit more of the tape to put that on the back of my Santa. Now, if you don't have this little window die, you can do it with a smaller collage die, or you can just have like little windows dies and achieve the same exact look of having this little shaker. So I'm just going to grab some of that tape and pop it right on the back of my Santa, because I want to make sure he doesn't fall off the card. But I'm only going to put the tape where I know he's going to be matching up right on that little strip piece that divides the two the two windows rather. So I'm going to go ahead and pop him on there. And I know he's nice and secure and he's not going anywhere. And all of our shaker bits are moving just fine. Now we can go ahead and put the card together. So I'm just going to grab a white card base. This is Neenah Solar White, 110 pound. And I'm going to grab a wider tape for the back. Now I could have just used regular adhesive of this on this, but again, this is a heavier card now because it's a shaker card. So I wanted to make sure that I use some score tape on this as well. So again, it does not fall off my card base. So I'm just going to put a couple of strips of this right onto the back of my shaker part. And this card is going to be done. I want to thank everybody who has supported me so much this year. You guys are fantastic. I could not have been so blessed to have so many new followers this year, and I really, really appreciate it. I'll be back in a couple of weeks sharing some fantastic new products for the new year. But until then, I want you guys to have a very blessed holiday season. Merry Christmas to everybody. And I will see you guys in another video very, very soon. So I'm just going to line up my card base. I'm going to pop down the top part of my shaker, and this card is going to be done. What a way to end 2017. Again, thank you everybody who has supported me and left your lovely comments. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, everybody, that is a wrap for my Christmas cards for 2017. You guys have a fantastic holiday. Here is the card totally done. Like I said, I will see you guys in another YouTube video soon. Take care, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.